So in this half of the course, I'm going to continue with this Reading Rainbow challenge, and I'm going to utilize that same sample to create another beat in the style of trap music. But this time, instead of creating a empty project, I'm going to create an empty project, but I'm going to use a live loops empty project. So I'm going to click over here to select that. And here in the musical grid, the tempo for trap music is in a different range than it was for the boom bap. Usually, trap music is created using a double time, where the tempo is double the speed of the actual feel of the record. So I'm going to start here in 142 for right now. I'm sure that'll change. My interface is good, my sample rate is good, and I'm going to go ahead and say create. And so when you create a live loops project in Logic, you're greeted with your main window, but you're in the live loops grid. So what you actually see here in the main window is an audio track and a software instrument track with empty live loop cells that I can create live loop cells to create this track. So what I want to do is start by saving, which I didn't do the first time, which I was showing you bad habits. So I'm going to start by saving this project. So I'm going to hit Command S. All of the things that I mentioned before apply here. I'm going to use a package file. We're going to be using sampler. I've already taken care of making sure that my samples are stored with the project by going into my project settings and selecting that in my assets. So I don't need to do that again here. I'm going to name this, let's call it Trap Rainbow. Bet you don't hear that often. Another thing that I realized that I didn't mention when I saved earlier when we was doing the boom bap track is I named the track. I talked about, what a package file and all of that was, but I didn't talk about where we were saving it. I just saved the project. And it was just out of habit. I saved it to the default location, which is the Logic folder. And your Logic folder is located on your hard drive under your user account in the music folder, and then there's a Logic folder. So that's the default location for projects to go, and I do usually put a lot of my projects there. But let's say, for instance, you have a hard drive connected to the computer. You can select the hard drive you want to save to. Like, say, for instance, I have my media drive here, and I can go under my MPV, Mac Pro Video folder, hip hop beats, and let's create a new folder in here and call it Logic Projects. Say create, and then I'm going to save it in that folder on my external drive. I'm going to say save. So now we're all set up to get started creating a trap beat in Logic Pro. In the next tutorial, I'm going to use Quick Sampler to repurpose the sample that we used in the boom bap beat.